What's up guys, XM360 here, and in today's video I have another great laser pointer review for you guys. This is going to be another laser that was recommended to me by a viewer, and just like that 638 nanometer laser I reviewed, this one is also a somewhat rare and hard to find wavelength. It's going to be a 520 nanometer forest green laser pointer, and it was actually recommended by the same person who recommended that 638. So this laser has a bit of a different shade of green as compared to that 532 nanometer wavelength that we normally see. And this one's going to cost you $38. It sells on eBay, and I'll put the links down below on where you guys can buy it. Now unfortunately it does only ship from China, so you will have to wait a little bit more for the shipping time. And if you guys are wondering by looking at the box if I ordered the wrong laser, I really hope not. I'm guessing this is probably just a generic box that they ship out a lot of lasers in. On the back there's a little diagram that shows where the batteries go, and this laser does take two 16340 rechargeable batteries, which are not included. This $38 bundle comes with the laser itself, and it comes with a 16340 charger, but it doesn't come with the batteries. So just make sure you know that you will need to buy the batteries separate. And the diode in this is a 50 milliwatt Osram 520 nanometer diode. Now I'm not sure how accurate it's going to be as far as that power reading. We are going to use the LPM later on in the video to see if it truly is 50 milliwatts. But anyways, opening this up here, you see the laser itself and then that little charger. And this has a nice little foam insert as well inside the box. That way you can use this as kind of a carrying case when you're not using the laser. This is just a cheap standard 16340 charger that I've gotten with several other lasers before. I believe this is the same exact one I got with my Thor M2 laser pointer. Nothing special about it. It's definitely not the best charger, but it serves its purpose. And before I move on to the laser pointer itself, I just want to point out that this nice little foam insert in here, it seems to be very well cut and it seems to be good quality. I like that it has two little holes for the batteries, and then we have 5 other little holes which are going to be for what I'm guessing is different attachments to the top of it. It probably has a treaded top for things like star caps. And picking up the laser, my first impression is that it has a really nice weight and it has a nice feel to it. It's full metal, I believe it's an aluminum construction, and obviously a lot of you laser fans will notice that on first impression it looks just like a Wicked Lasers Spider 3 laser. When Wicked Lasers came out with those lasers, all the other laser companies started coming out with hosts that look just like them, so I mean that's not a big issue, but that's why it does resemble the Spider 3 model. And then this top right here, this top unscrews. What this is actually an adjustable focus right here. So you don't need to unscrew that all the way. If you unscrew it a little bit, then you can adjust the focus a bit and you can make the beam larger or smaller. And this isn't advertised as a burning laser, so don't be mistaken just because it has an adjustable focus that it's a burning laser, because it is not. And I did notice that the top of the laser also has some little treads to use a star cap attachment if you already have one. So the bottom of this laser is going to unscrew just like most laser pointers to insert the batteries. And once you get that unscrewed, the two 16340 batteries go in, positive side up, negative side down towards the diode. Once you get both of those in there, you can just screw it back together. And then the button on this laser is on the very bottom, and it's the type of button I like a lot. It's the type where you just press it once to turn it on and once to turn it off. So I'm just going to screw this back together, and I'm going to test out this laser and see if we can't get it to turn on. Now, I did just fully charge these batteries, so we should get some juice out of them. These are not included, like I said earlier in the video. You do have to get your own batteries. And turning this on, the laser is functional, and right away I can tell that that little green dot, it's definitely different than the standard 532 nanometer color. It's a bit more of a forest green. It's closer to blue on the spectrum than the normal 532, and it definitely is green, but it's more of a, I don't know, closer to a teal color. It's definitely not teal, but it's closer to a teal color than the 532. And if you looked at the color spectrum, you would see that it's a bit more to the left and that the 532 is a bit more to the right. I am going to show you guys a comparison later on in the video of the 532 compared to this. And one other thing I'd like to note is that that button, it feels very good. It feels like a high quality button on the very bottom. So many lasers have buttons that just feel kind of crappy, especially the ones that you have to hold down while using the laser. This one's a nice rubber button and it just feels like good quality, like something that's not going to break easy. So I'm going to move on to show you guys the adjustable focus feature. Like I said earlier, it's going to be that unscrewable lens. You're going to just turn it on the very top and you'll be able to focus the laser in and out, and you'll be able to make that dot much larger or much smaller. And even though it has an adjustable focus feature, it is not advertised as a burning laser. And I'll probably test out its burning ability to see if I can even light a match, but I'm highly doubting that I'll be able to burn anything because they don't advertise it as a burning laser. Now, this is what it's going to look like in a dim indoor setting, and the beam is actually a bit more visible than the camera's picking up. It's a lot more visible to the human eye than it is to the camera. That dot is extremely bright, and the color is very satisfying. I actually like this a lot better than the normal 532. I'm going to now move to a nighttime setting to show you guys what that looks like. And turning this laser on, the beam is very visible. It's a bit more visible than it was indoors, and I'm looking at the view on my camera, and unfortunately the camera's just not picking it up very well. It's completely visible to the human eye. Even when I turn it sideways, I can still see it in the air. If it was a foggier night, maybe the camera would be picking it up better. It would definitely be a lot more visible on a foggy night, but it definitely is visible. It's just as visible as the Laser 303, and that dot is very, very bright. And I'm just going to quickly show you guys what it does look like if you do have a star cap attachment to attach to the top of this laser. You're going to be able to split that laser beam into thousands of separate little beams, and then you can then turn the little cap on the top of the laser to make all the beams move. So that's definitely a really cool effect, but that is not included with the laser, so please be aware of that. Now I'm going to move on to the LPM test. I'm using my Laser-B A LPM, and we're just going to focus this in here, and we're going to see what the actual power is. It's listed as using an Osram 50 milliwatt 520 nanometer diode. I have two fully charged 16340 batteries here, and for some reason I'm thinking that 50 milliwatt number might be a little bit off. It looks like we're starting to balance out at around 20 milliwatts. And please excuse the little fluctuations. There are little variables that cause it to fluctuate a little, but we can pretty much get a very accurate number, and it's looking like we're going to be sticking around maybe 20 to 25 milliwatts on this one. So that is a little bit of a bummer that that milliwatt number was misadvertised on the listing. I'm definitely going to contact the seller about that to ask him. And now my favorite part of this video that I've been looking forward to is the actual comparison in a foggy room of the 520 nanometer to the 532 nanometer. So I filled this room with fog using a fog machine, and this first laser that you're seeing right here, this is the 520 nanometer that we've been reviewing throughout this video. It's 20 milliwatts, and then this second laser is going to be the green 532 nanometer military laser that I reviewed a couple months back. And right away the comparison is very striking. You can see that the 520 is much closer to a teal color, and the 532 is much more of an emerald green. And for anybody who's wondering, that 532 laser is about 35 milliwatts. So this is a very interesting comparison, and I really like this matchup a lot. And personally, I prefer the 520 nanometer color as opposed to the 532. I just find it to be more of a, I don't know, a satisfying, it almost looks a little bit more visible too than the 532 color, but I like the color a lot. I like a teal colored laser. I'm trying to get my hands on a 473 right now, and if I can, that would be really cool. I'm not sure if it's going to work out yet, but if I do, I'm definitely going to review it. So I'm going to use this opportunity to transition into the reviewing aspect of this laser. And firstly, the price of $38 was very reasonable. It was the cheapest 520 I could find on the market, the only one I could find on eBay, and I'm very happy that that user linked me to it. And it seems very durable. The metal construction seems like it's really going to hold up against the test of time. I think the host is very good looking. I think that the adjustable focus feature works very well, and I like that it has the ability to use a star cap. The only two cons I really have for it is that it doesn't come with batteries, which I already had some batteries, but I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. And the biggest issue for me is that it was mislabeled as 50 milliwatts when it's only really 25 milliwatts. But besides that, everything was amazing about this laser. I really like that 520 nanometer color. I think it's really cool, and it's a really great comparison against the 532. I also found that the shipping time, although it came from China, it came pretty fast, and I liked that a lot. I am going to contact the seller to ask him about that labeling and see if it was just maybe a weak diode that I got, or if, I don't know. I'm going to talk to him about it and ask why mine was only 25 milliwatts. But besides that, that was the only issue I had. I would definitely give this laser a 9 out of 10. I mean, $38 to get such a unique color, and one thing I liked a lot too is that the beam was perfectly aligned with the laser. You see so many cheap lasers where the beam is crooked. This one had a perfectly aligned beam, so I did like that a lot too. I like the button that you only have to push once for on and once for off. It's a really good laser, and I mean, if you didn't have an LPM, you wouldn't even know the difference, so it's a great laser overall. So I really hope you guys found this review helpful, and I'm really glad I could add a 520 to my collection. If you guys found this video helpful, hit that like button down below. I'll put the links down below on where you can buy this laser for yourself. Always practice good laser safety, use laser safety glasses, and be smart with it. And if you guys are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button for more amazing laser videos just like this. And as always guys, thank you for watching from XM360.